couple years ago, I and some friends went to the Museum of Modern Art in San Francisco. And there, for the first time in my adult life, I saw some fantastic works of art. And I was moved. And since that time, I was moved spiritually or religiously or whatever you want to say. And since that time, I've been watching some documentaries on film, including Simon Schama's Power of Art, and that's a 3-disc set, and this BBC documentary, a 7-disc set called The History of a Masterpiece, or Biography of a Masterpiece, or something like that. It's really fascinating. I can never remember the name, but that's a 7-disc set. And my wife and I have been visiting some other museums and looking at more art. Well, a little while ago, about a year ago, we decided to start getting some paint and dabbling ourselves a little bit. And the point of what I'm going to do today is show you how easy it is to make a painting that you're happy with. It won't cost very much. It won't be a masterpiece, but it'll look decent, and it'll bring some color and some life to your apartment or house. So what I'm going to attempt to do is paint that tree you see there in the distance. And you may not be lucky enough to live close to the ocean like I do. I walked here today. It took me about 45 minutes. I'm only this lucky because I married a beautiful, hard-working woman who supports and provides. I gotta interject there for a second. You may not be lucky enough to live close enough to an ocean like this, but I'm sure you live close to a park where there's something pretty to paint, a tree or a rock formation, or you can paint whatever moves you. But anyway, so what I'm going to use, I have this panel, the artist panel, made by, I guess it's just called the artist panel. Picked it up at my local paint supply store, made by Ampersand. It's 8x8. It's excellent to paint on. I've got some paper here that I'm going to, it's got like a waxy surface, and that's where I'm going to mix my paint. And then I have my colors all laid out here. Now you won't need all these colors, you can get away with just a couple colors depending on what you're going to paint. Essential are white and black to make things lighter and darker, and then primary colors. Primary colors being what? Yellow, blue, and red. Now the panel cost around $8, except I found it on half price sale, so it was like $4. And then the mixing paper costs $7, but it's a lot of mixing paper in here, and you could really use anything to mix on. And then these paints each cost about $6.50, but I'm sure you can find them cheaper on the internet. I bought them at a relatively high-priced painting store, and yes, I have a lot. So I probably spent close to $100 in supplies. But once again, you could just do a white and black painting, and it would look good. That'd be $14. And then I've just got 4 brushes, and the brushes are cheap. They're like $2 or $3 each. So the first thing I'm going to do is paint this background onto my board. I'm going to put some greens near the bottom. I'm just going to paint like a green and brown near the bottom and blue near the top so I can get my background. So as you can see, the first thing I did, I've got some green and brown on the bottom, a little bit of blue for the ocean, and blue and white for the sky there. Now, the colors, I paint in the impressionistic style. And all that means is it's your impression of what you see. You know, I can't paint realistically. I mean, where it looks like a picture. I can't paint that way. You know, you probably have to take classes to learn to paint that way. I can't do it. But the great thing I love about these boards is that they dry really quickly. So you can lay down your first colors, and then you build the color on top of that. Now, is it going to have to match the color of the ocean exactly? No, it won't, because the color of the ocean is constantly changing. The color of most things is constantly changing as the day temperatures change. You know, you just have to paint it so that it looks, you know, like an ocean. And right now, it already, you know, like you can see sky, ocean, and ground. I mean, that's obvious. And as you build on that, adding little layers, like I'm going to add some spots of red for the spots of red foliage there in the grass, and then I'm going to add that tree in, and I'm going to add the city background, which you probably can't even see on this little camera. And then it's going to start to look real. So I went through the painting step by step and added splotches of color wherever I thought it needed them to try to represent landscape. And it's clearly a tree on an ocean. I think that's obvious. And it will look good hanging on my wall. Real tree. And simulation of tree. It's just that easy.